Okay guys, this is going to be part 8 of our custom Namalsk server with the Night Stalker features. This video is going to be on Bloodsuckers. I got these sorted out, tested, and they're working. So this file here, this custom Namalsk custom code, will be on my GitHub, and I'll have a link to it in the description. It's got all kinds of helper stuff in here, stuff you can copy and paste. Each of these sections is separated, by video basically. But the bottom section is Bloodsuckers. Okay, so there's quite a bit to do here. But just stick with me here, you'll get it. I'll go slow here and so let's open up our DayZ server folder. Alright, this is all mission side now. There's no server stuff. So MP missions, extract the PBO. Let's back the PBO up with this one. So let's make sure that this is the right one. Yeah. Okay, so delete that one. I need to back up this copy. Just so, remember, always back up your PBO before you start making, changes. So if you fuck it up, you can always go back, right? Let's open this up. We need to go and get some files out of DayZ code, out of the client files. So DayZ, Epoch, client files, add-ons. I already have my DayZ code folder extracted. Open that up and go to compile. We want this file right here, building spawn zombies. So browse to the same directory that we made here in our client PBO, mission PBO rather. DayZ code, compile. We're going to copy over this. So right click, drag, copy here. So now we have that copy. We also need, out of system, we need these two files here. We need to make a whitelist here for this. So back up to system. Same should be where the dynamic weather effects is, right? Let's copy that one over and copy this one over. The SQF, resec.sqf and resec.hpp. We need both of those. Okay. So now we need to, once you pull those files over, you need to redirect them. So this file here, this building spawn zombies, we need to redirect in our custom compiles. So open up init and go to open up compiles. My helper file has the line in here, right here. As long as you're putting in the same directory I am, you can use that one. Otherwise, we get it out of the, this is the DayZ Epoch client files. They're init folder. Go to compiles and just search for like zombie. Okay, player zombie check. What do we have? Spawn building spawn zombies. This one right here. So you can copy this whole line out of here, or use the one that I made. Doesn't matter. We just need this line. And it. Oh shit. But for reference, it is, and this is not dedicated. If is not dedicated. Right in this section here. It's right there. So make sure it goes in the same section. So we already have that here from our other files we moved over. Just click in here on the end of this last one, hit enter, paste it, and since all we did was move it from one directory, the same directory, to the same directory, we're just going to get rid of that PBO prefix, right? Just like that. So DayZ code, compile, building, _ spawn zombies.sqf. Go ahead and save that. Close it, and again you can use this one if you want. Let's go ahead and make the edit to that file. Go back into compile and this building spawn zombies, edit that, Move it over to other view. You could have this, again, this file you'll download from my GitHub. So we need this block of code here from add bloodsuckers all the way down to this closing bracket. So copy all of that. Make sure all of that is selected and copy that from here down to here. And then we're working in this section right here where it says if can loot then. So highlight this thing, right, that opening bracket, and you'll notice it closes down here. If you have the SQF highlighter installed on your Notepad++, you will see that. I want to put, see, I got walking zombies here, add internal zombies here. These ones spawn inside the buildings. These are on the outside, like, you know, random world positions, I guess. Right, random. And I want to put it below this one. So you notice there's an if statement here. Copy this guy, and you see that that one closes here. So from the eye straight down to here, I want to put my cursor on that, hit enter, paste my bloodsucker stuff. So I want to be inside this. All right? I want to be inside this if can loot then section. And I updated this code to work with the new building spawn zombies. This was the old one, had some different variables and shit in there. I just, you know, updated it basically. And it used to be that they would spawn with like a blood bag or something. And if you want that stuff, if you go to back up to Namalsk, go into the add-ons and go into DayZ, in the code and compile, there's a building spawn zombies from an old what is it, DayZ vanilla, like 1.7.7 or 1.7.6.1 or some shit. It's an old version anyway. So this is the original one, and it looked like this. Land B spawn, I think, was a base class for some spawnable buildings. I don't know. I modified it and put my own buildings in there. And I'll show you why. I like it. I like the way this works much better. These buildings are nowhere near traders, and the spawning seems to be more. And this was, I changed all that. It's now just a random one. It's, you know, the way I got it works. Okay, so, but I had this stuff here, this random one, and then it would add a magazine and or nothing. Not a magazine, a blood bag. Somebody tried to like put mutant hearts in there at one point. I tried that, but it doesn't work because the sorry, I'm moving my mic around here. The bloodsuckers, when they spawn in with a what do you call it? Mutant heart. So if you go into the mutants here, scripts, which one is it? This one. Yeah, while alive mutant. So it does all this searching, and then once you kill it, it removes the mutant heart and the AP. It has an APSI, so it doesn't get affected by the EVR storms. But if you try to put a mutant heart on it while it's still alive, then it will give you an error because this is a tool belt item. Can't have two of the same things on your tool belt, so that doesn't work. The only way to get this to work would be to remove all those files from the mutant folder over to your mission side and remove this line. Then you could get one. Right? Okay, so I'm not doing all that shit. But if you want to add this stuff back in, you're more than welcome. And you can put this content and this variable. You know, this one has content here. Original position is in the new one up above. You know, right there. So they just updated it for the new 1.0.6. and so I've had to update it down here. But if you want to play around with this code and add that shit back in, you're more than welcome. But then this is content here, which corresponds to this. Mine is just empty, no gear on it, right? But this works. It works well. I added this diagnostic line for my testing purposes, and it tells you when a bloodsucker actually spawns in. It will be an entry in the RPT. I just left it in there because it is useful. When you're adjusting your numbers and stuff on your variables, you run your server, and then you can go in your RPT and search this stuff here. Search for that, and it'll tell you how many spawned in. Okay, so that's done. You just need to paste this code in here where I pasted it, and then save it. Okay, and we did the compiles redirect. Now we need to whitelist this resec, but we also need to redirect. That resec is in system now, and this file resec.sqf calls for this file here. To see it's included, and so if it's like that, it has to be in the same directory. There's no directory here. If it's in the same directory, you can do that, but you could change it if you want, but just pull them into the same system directory, just like I did it there. We need to make an edit to this file, but before I do that, let's go into the root of the mission PBO and go to init.sqf, and we need to see here DayZ _ resec equals 1. Copy that, hit F, it's already in there, hit next. So this is down below line 118. Yours might be different, but here's where, if it's turned on with a 1, so if you're using Infostar, you will have that turned off, and use the one in Infostar, so you won't have to do this step. Okay, so if you're using Infostar, you don't have to copy these two files over. Okay, that's just if you're using the built-in. Okay, so we want to get rid of this PBO prefix, right? Because I'm in DayZ code on the mission PBO, and I'm in system, and there's the file, right? DayZ code system, there's the file. That's all I'm doing. That's why, you've been watching these videos, you know why I'm doing it that way, because it's much easier to redirect. So that's all you got to do in init.sqf is that, make that mod to that. Save that, close it. Let's make the modification to this, resec.hpp. Leave this file alone, we don't touch it. You just have to have it. So edit that, move it over. Okay, now right here we need to find this line here, pound define whitelisted _ exec VM. It's right here. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're whitelisting the spawning of the bloodsuckers themselves. They call them mutants as well, and the skin that they change into. When they're running around the map, they're invisible. You just see their little eyes, and then they change into a physical skin that you can see, and that's this. You have to whitelist this, otherwise they can't change. It'll give you errors. So I'm going to click on this 121 here. Highlights that whole thing. Control C to copy that line. And I'm going to click here to highlight that line. Control V, and then verify that it pasted that shit. See, there it is. This is for the bloodsucker spawning. This is for the skin that they change into. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. Go ahead and save that. Close it. Now we need to add these variables to variables.sqf, our custom variables.sqf. So in the init folder, our variables.sqf, they call this custom compiles and custom variables. Edit that. We need to copy this from Bloodsuckers all the way down to this end of that line there. Okay, so copy that, go into the variables.sqf, hit enter a couple times and just paste it in here above. Okay, and now this is set to 20%, and you can play around with this number. What I did was I set it to this. I think I played around with a couple different numbers, but then I spent 45 minutes in-game with Infostar, and I was teleporting around to that building location. And I got 2 Bloodsuckers to spawn in 45 minutes. So it'll probably be less. Depending on how many players you've got, of course. You've got players everywhere. There'll be more. But, you know, just read the RPT, check how many are spawning. If you got a public server and you got players, if they were bitching about how many there are or not, just lower this number or raise it, you know, if there's not enough. But 20%, I'm leaving that as the default. But for this video demonstration, and if you want to test these on your server and make sure they're working, set that to a 1. That would be 100% spawn. You see here in the note, choose a number between 0 and 1. So you could have, you know, 0.25 for 25%, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna set it to 1, and this toggles the Bloodsuckers on and off. So if I set the, if you install these Bloodsuckers and don't like them, because I'm not really a huge fan of them myself, if you end up not liking them, you don't have to uninstall. Just set this to false, like that. Okay, and it'll turn them off. They just won't spawn. I think the group leader might still spawn though. He'll spawn on that little island where I've got him spawning, but the actual Bloodsuckers that run around the map won't spawn. So yeah, that's exactly the way that works. That's true. So I'm gonna set this to 1, and just for this in-game demo. But you know, the default was 0.20. Okay, so that's it. Just these 2 variables. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to add the group leader. Goes in mission.sqm. So let's back up to the root of the mission PBO and go into mission.sqm. Edit that. Pay attention here, because if you fuck this up, it won't work. Of course, the rest of the stuff, that's true as well, but there's a few things you gotta pay attention to that there. Okay, class groups. This is where we're going to be making our edit. Class groups. You notice it says items 2 starts with item 0. It starts counting at 0. These are all of the player slots, the debug slots. The, you know, when you log into the lobby, you're sitting in the debug zone. That's what all of these are. What is there, 100 of them? Yeah, 0 to 99. And then you got class item 1, which is a functions manager. But you see, I've already pre-labeled this class item 2, and I've already got the formatting. I got the 2 tabs in there. So copy this whole block of code, Control C, and now be careful here, because you see how it has an opening and a closing bracket there. You want to be right below that, not this one. You want to be inside this bracket. That's the opens up the groups class. So put your cursor here, you know, straight down from here. Hit enter, paste. Okay, that's all you have to do to add that. And then you got to come up here and make sure, now we have 3 items. Make sure you do this. Change this items to 3. If you have other mods and shit already, and you've got other classes in there, just bump it up, whatever number it is, just bump it up 1 number. You know, make your mod to this. You know, whatever you got to do to get it to work, okay? Just make sure you bump this up 1, and then paste this shit down here for your group leader. Okay? That's good. That's done. Let's go ahead and save that. close it. We're done with the mission file itself. Mission PBO. So let's repack that. And delete that one. Okay. So we need BattlEye filters. So instance 15 Namalsk. This is your config folder. Go into BattlEye and you need to open up scripts.txt. Okay. I'm going to move this over to other view. Maximize it. And we need to find line 34. Line 34, and it should say 5 set damage. If you got modified, what do you call it, BattlEye filters, then yours might be different. But you want the one that says set damage. So, and it should be set to a login kick. So you want to copy this whole line. Okay, and then you're gonna hit in here, click in here, hit end, hit space, and then paste it. Just like that. We need to find line 15 of scripts.txt. And that should start with create unit, right? You want the one that says 5, create unit. And we're going to put this line in here at the end. So click in there, hit end, space, paste. Okay, we're done with scripts.txt. Save that. Close it. We need to open up remote exec.txt right here. And this is stupid, but this is the gear from the Bloodsucker. It's null. There's nothing in there. It's empty class name. So copy that, right? And just go to the end. All right? Click in here, space, paste. That's all you gotta do for that bullshit. That little thing will kick you. So save that, close it. And that's done. This, I probably said this before, but this will be, I'm gonna put this on my GitHub, and I am going to put a link in the description for this. This has all of the stuff that you can just copy and paste. It's got all the EVR storm stuff and object date 2, different shit, okay? So I'll do that once I finish this video. So we are done with the install. Mission PBO is packed back up. BattlEye is finished. Let's go in game. And once that pops up, I start the server. You have to start client files before you start the server on this. Oh, let me stretch. Getting tired from this shit. Configure, test. Configure and then test. Let me go ahead. Well, let me start the login here first. I want to get my client RPT available. Remember, client RPT is there. Users, your name, app data, local, ARMA 2 OA. Hey. Okay. Yeah, we're starting. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me unlock this. When I put my railgun into this secondary, I don't know what they call it, second primary slot, it freaking like turned it into one of these. Right, this was in my backpack, and then this was here. I don't know if you gotta add the railgun to that array or something like that, but it like freaking deleted it. I'll have to test that again, but that was weird. Anyways, you see that building right there in front of me? That's the building I have the Bloodsuckers spawn at. This thing. Right? There's one at either end. There's a bunch of these on the map. And I just chose this building because they weren't near traders, and there was enough of them that it made Bloodsucker spawning in cool spots. There was another one. Let me show you this other one. Let me get in this. The other one was the other guard shack. Whoa, rocks. Nearly flipped it. Which is over here, I think, right? Let me see. Yeah, this little compound. Okay, so where's this guard shack right here? I think it was. I used Infostar to shoot these buildings. This guard shack. I think this is the only one on the map, as far as I know. But I put this in here just so a Bloodsucker would spawn over here. Yay, warm clothes, finally. What did I do with my SUV? Over here? Let's go back. The leader, the group leader, spawns on this little island right here. Let's go over there. Yeah, that little island right there is where the group leader spawns. And usually, yeah, you can hear him. Sometimes there he is. He's swimming. Where'd he go? Right there. You see his little beady little eyes? Well, he's not swimming. He's just walking along there. He's out there. I think he is swimming. He's kind of... I don't know. Looks like he is. He doesn't seem to move from there. So if you go out there and shoot that group leader, then, you know, when the body gets wiped by the server, then the Bloodsuckers will quit spawning. I think you could probably get away with spawning him way out here, like in the middle of the ocean, and he would just swim around there until server reset. But there's really nowhere else to spawn him. Unless you wanted to build a structure, or maybe have him, you know, cooped up underneath object day 2. If you can, yeah, I got admin tools, you can go down in there and, you know. I kind of like him there because it scares the shit out of players because they don't know where the hell he's at. I find that amusing. So let's see if we can get one of these Bloodsuckers to spawn in. Actually, let's check the RPT. Okay, refresh. So this is our new session, and so far we don't have a Bloodsucker. Let's run around a bit and see if we can't trigger one. Remember, I'm doing all this without admin tools, so just because I know some people don't have them, they don't. I'm still working on Nox's admin tools, and I just had to take a break for a while. And I'm waiting on him to reply, and he hasn't. So. If you run around these buildings, it should trigger the spawning of a bloodsucker. I do have another file to another video to make, I guess. It's gonna be these barracks like this. You can't get inside them without vaulting. So, yeah, you run at them. Same thing with this one. And there's some more too. There's some more down at the other in the town. I got a thing. I put ramps there just to fix it. I hear a plane overhead. Not in game, but in real life. Have I triggered one yet? Let's check RPT. The bloodsuckers do obey this little mini safe zone that happens underneath the rotor blades. Okay, so I got one. See there? Bloodsucker has spawned. Let's find out where he's at. Oh, I heard him. They can spawn like 60 meters away from the spawn point, the actual building itself. I heard him though. And they're cloaked, right? I'm looking for his breath. So you can see the breath. There he is. He's right there. Is he moving? Oh, fuck me. He's right there. Oh, there he is. You see how he... Where did he go? If I stand in these helicopter rotors, he won't hit me. Where the hell did he go? Oh, he's right here somewhere. Right there. Can't see him because... There he is. See how he uncloaks himself? Okay, so that killed him. 3 shots to the face. And there's no gear on there. If you want to add gear, you can go back and look at those files. But I didn't do it because, you know, fuck it. I don't want gear on them. I have the spawning set to 100%, so each one of those buildings should spawn one. Let me see if there's another one spawned in yet. No, not yet. Let's run around a bit. See if we can trigger one. Let's go over to this other guard shack that looks like that. Those anytime they're like at the bridge and they're at each of the military compounds. Down by that dock, you know, over here there's some. I think there's one here and one here. So there are quite a few of those guard shacks. That's why I used that building. I don't even, you don't call it a guard shack. I'm not even sure what it's called, but that's why I used that building, just to space them out. And they're nowhere near traders, so that helps. Because the bloodsuckers will target and attack the trader NPCs, which is kind of stupid, but they do, because they're not in the same. Oh, I heard something. Is he over here? Maybe that was that one on the island. This building should trigger one. I'm not sure how efficient the triggering is, but you know. I have seen 4 of them at one time. That was when I had other buildings in there. That was a bit too much, so I took out those buildings. But you could add other buildings if you want. You can get the buildings out of the loot tables, or if you have Infostar, you can, you know, shoot the buildings with the hit I when you got the cursor target on it. Drift cursor over and hit I. I can't really stop running here when these freaking zombies are... I was going to check the RPT again and see if I triggered one, but... Let's go back over here and check. See, I wouldn't want to run into them all the time, because if you're a fresh spawn, you're fucked. But if you can find a helicopter and hide underneath the helicopter blades, that's ideal. Oh. Was that the zombie or... They usually make a different noise, like a ch-ch-ch-ch. Okay, I hear one. Where is he? Right there, he's right there. Move. Right there. See his breath. Stay under these rotor blades. Right there he is. Running away, eh? Let's see when they get close, they uncloak or whatever you call it, change out of the invisibility skin. There we go. There he is. One more shot to the face. Sometimes they do glitch out though. I've seen them where they get caught in like an animation loop and they just run off into the distance and die. Where the fuck did he go? Come on. There he is. Okay, so 4 shots. I don't think one of those was a headshot. Yeah, okay, so that's how you spawn in Bloodsuckers anyway. I'm going to follow this up with another video with that map fixes. And, you know, maybe I'll get around to doing some other installs, safe zones, and I don't think Namalsk has a ZSC. I don't think anybody's done any of that, so maybe I'll do that. But anyways, that's how you do it. Check RPTs. So we did get one more to spawn. Right? So run your server, run around the map. If you got other players, you know, just check this the RPT for this, and then bump your numbers up if you want more. If you want less, bump them down, whatever. But that's how you do it. So see yous in the next one. Bye-bye.